Hello friends, welcome to Data Science Lovers. In this video, we will learn about the clip upper function in Python Pandas library. So as per the definition, using the clip upper function, all the values that are exceeding any specified threshold value will be replaced by this threshold value itself. This definition will become more clear to you when we will do some example here. If we talk about the syntax of using this function, then we have to consider any column of our data frame, and on this column we have to use the clip function, and inside the clip function we have to pass a parameter upper. Okay, now here we have to pass the threshold value, or you can say this specified threshold value that we want to consider to get the desired results. Let's start with a simple example. First of all, we will import the pandas library here in this Jupyter notebook. Import pandas SPD. The library has been imported. Let's create a series with having some values in it. Suppose pd.series, and in this series we will have some values, some numerical values like 100, 200, 300, 900 and this. Okay, we will save this in a variable x, and this is our series having 9 values here. Okay, now we want to clip all the values in this series that are above 500, means all the values that are greater than 500 will become equal to 500 only. How we can do this? First of all, as per the syntax, we have to write our series x, and on this series we will write clip function. Inside the clip function, here we have to pass the parameter upper, and after this we have to write down the threshold value. Here we have the threshold value of 500. When we will run this, this is the output after using this clip upper function. Here you can see the values 600, 700, 800, 900 are changed to 500 only. So this is the use of, or you can say simple use of clip upper function. If I pass here like 550, so as per our syntax, or you can say as per our command, all the values in this series that are above 550 will be converted to 550 only. When we will run this, you can see these values are converted to 550. Now we will use the clip upper function on a real data frame's numerical column. Suppose we have a data frame, data like this. This is our data frame that we will consider. In this data frame there are multiple columns, including the categorical column as well as the numerical column. So we will consider the any numerical column. Let's consider this horsepower column. We have to clip all the values in the horsepower column that are above 250. In the above case, we have a series, so we wrote the series here. In this case, we have a column of the data frame. So as per the syntax, we will consider the data frame column, and data. Here we will have the column name horsepower, and on this column we will use the clip function. Inside this function we have to pass the parameter upper and equal to our threshold value that we want to consider here. Here we have to consider the value of 250. So when we will run this, you can see the values are changed to 250 that were above 250. When we notice one by one, at our first row the values was 265, which is about 250, so it is changed to 250 only here like this. Second value was below 250, so there is no change, it is 200 here, and also here also it is 200. And if we consider this value 270 at index number 3, okay, here index number 3 the value is changed to 250, and so on. At index number 429 the value was 268, means above 250, so at index number 429 the value is changed to 250, and there is no change in the values that were below 250 or equal to 250. We can also save this change in our original column of the data frame by this command here we have to copy this again and paste here, and once we run it, the command has been executed. And if we check our original data frame, now you can see the horsepower column has the changed, or you can say converted values, or you can say clipped values only. If we want to check the minimum and maximum value of this column, then we can use the describe function on this column like this. Here the minimum value is 73 and the maximum value is 250. So that's how clip upper function works. Now we will see how clip upper function will work on any object or string column. First, start with a simple series example, and we will create a series here with object data type only. And pd.series. In this series, I will write some alphabets only, like pq and till z. These are the elements of our series, and we will save this in suppose y. And when we will print y, this is our series having 11 elements which are of object data type. Here we have to clip all the values in this series that are above u. Okay, we have to consider this u as our threshold value. So as per the syntax, our series y dot clip function and upper parameter equal to, here we have to pass the threshold value, here we have u. When we will run this, you can see that the value that were above u in alphabetical order are changed to u only. So this is just for a simple understanding that how the clip upper function works with categorical or objects columns or series. Now let's try to use this clip upper function on a real data frames object column. We have a data frame this. In this data frame, we will consider the first column, which is make here. Okay, so on this column, let's first apply the value count function to check how many values are there in this column with their occurrence. So this is the output here. To use the clip upper function on this column, we have to clip all the values in this column that are above mini. So mini is our threshold value here. As per the syntax, our column make and dot clip function, the upper parameter equal to our threshold value mini. When we will run this, the output will become like this. What we notice here, in original data frames column, the values from index number 427 till index number 431, the value was Volvo, but now after using the clip upper function, the value has changed to mini because V comes after the M in alphabetical orders. Now suppose we save these changes in a variable like new, and when we use the value count function on this variable or like this, you can see that the mini has the count of 190. Earlier the mini had only a count of 2. Now the only thing to notice here, that clip upper function can also work on the object data type or object column as well. Now we will use the clip upper function on a Numpy array. For this, first of all, we have to import the Numpy library. Import Numpy as np, and now we will create a 3D array here. If you don't know how to create a 3D array, you can check this video. And the syntax here, our Numpy library np.array function. Inside this function, as we have to create a 3D array, we will pass 3 square brackets in the starting, and there will be 3 square brackets at the end. And between these brackets, we have to pass our values. These are our values for this array, and we will save this in a variable AR. And when we will print this variable, or you can say 3D array AR, it will look like this. These 3 square brackets at the end and also at the starting confirms that it is a 3D array. Now let's clip all the values in this array that are above 500. And here is a change in the syntax of using clip function because we are working on numpy arrays. So the syntax will be here, our numpy library dot clip function. Inside this function we have to pass some parameters. First of all, we have to pass our array. Our array is stored in AR. Then we have second parameter, which is array max, array maximum. Here we have to pass the threshold value. The threshold value is 500 here. Then we have our third parameter, a minimum, a min, and here we have to pass it as none. When we will run this, all the values that were above 500, which is our threshold value, are converted to, or you can say changed to 500 only. Here the 1000 is changed to 500, the 1200 is also changed to 500, and so on. We will save this in another variable like AR1 and print AR1. So you can notice the changes in these two arrays easily. So guys, practice more and more to learn these concepts, and in our next video we will learn about the quantile in Pandas library. Thanks friends, kindly like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos on Pandas, data analytics, machine learning and projects.